Hi everyone, welcome back to another installment of First Chapter Friday. So this video is being made during what I am theming Nonfiction November. And if you watched our previous video from Nonfiction November, we are sticking with our narrative nonfiction, which is where we have our books that are full of true facts, true places, true people, true stories, but told in a chapter book fashion, so a more narrative type of way. So continuing with our nonfiction November is one of my least favorite topics, least favorite ever, and that's going to be insects. So this is a brand new book we have in the library, but I'm really excited to share it with you, even though I'm not a huge bug fan. It's called Buzzkill, A Wild Wander Through the Weird and Threatened World of Bugs by Brenna Maloney. I'll read you a very short summary, which says the insect world is a fascinating place. You may not think so. You may think insects are gross, that's me, or scary, or dangerous, but there's so much more to insects than what meets the eye. Find out what all the buzz is about. So I'm going to read just a portion from Chapter 1. Scope and Scale. A cockroach can live without its head for 168 hours. Moths can't fly during an earthquake. The larva of a Goliath beetle can weigh as much as McDonald's quarter pounder. How much of that did you already know? On any given night, you could have up to 10 million dust mites in your bed. The praying mantis is the only animal on Earth with one ear. Bees can recognize human faces. Aphids are born pregnant. I could go on all day, really. The insect world is a fascinating place. You might not think so. You might think insects are gross, or scary, or dangerous. They get a bad rap, insects. Surveys tell us that 25% of Americans are afraid of insects. They bite, they sting, they carry disease, they ruin our picnics, they look icky. If I asked you to name 3 icky bugs right now, I'm sure you could do it. You might rattle off spiders, ticks, and centipedes, all super icky, I agree. Except that none of those things are insects. Yeah, no. None of those things are insects. Spiders and ticks are arachnids. A centipede is a myriapod. So you can go right on thinking those things are icky. I'm right there with you. Yucko. But insects are surprisingly cool. They have many admirable, enviable traits. They have superpowers, and they are among the most successful living things on the planet. Maybe you've never really thought about it before. That's okay. You're busy. We're all busy. It's not top of mind. I get that. But I'd like to tell you some amazing things about insects because this stuff is worth knowing. I'll explain why a little later on, but first I want to tell you what an insect is and what it isn't. Once I do that, you'll be able to easily pass the spider, tick, centipede test. Ready? Okay. All adult insects have 3 body segments: a head, a thorax, and an abdomen. So right from the start, you know a spider isn't an insect. It's only got that tiny little pinhead up front and that big back. 2 parts, not 3. Insects are the only animals in the world that have 6 legs. Count them up. Spiders, 8. Ticks, 8. Centipedes, that's a trick question. You want to answer 100 because centi in units of measurement means 100. In actuality, centipedes have 1 pair of legs for each body segment. Depending on the species of centipede we're talking about, they can have between 15 and 177 pairs of legs, which is way more than 6 anyway. So centipedes are definitely not insects. What else? Most insects have wings. 2 pairs is standard. Some flies have only 1 pair. Besides birds and bats, insects are the only animals that can fly. No wings on our spider, tick, or centipede friends. Insects usually have 2 feelers or antennae on their heads that they use for various things, such as smelling, listening, or tasting. Insects are also spineless. Every last one of them. I'm not suggesting they lack courage. I mean it in the literal sense. Insects don't have spines. They're invertebrates. You probably know some other invertebrates like octopuses or jellyfish, but insects aren't squishy and shapeless like those guys because they have skeletons on the outside of their bodies called exoskeletons. So those are the basics. Now you can look at any gross little thing, and without really knowing what it is, you can definitely say whether or not it's an insect. Dragonfly, 3 body segments, wings, 6 legs, antenna. Check. Woodlouse? Sounds insecty, but no. Once you take a look at it, you can see it's only got 1 main body segment. The woodlouse is actually a crustacean like a crab or a shrimp. Slug? Come on, that's too easy. No legs, no wings, no exoskeleton. It's just got that 1 blobby body with doodly-doos on its head. Definitely not an insect. See, once you know the rules, you can get pretty good at this game. Earlier, I told you that insects are some of the most successful animals on the planet, and I want to circle back to that idea and tell you more. How do we measure success? One way is to look at the sheer volume of insects on our planet. So that's just a portion of the first chapter of Buzzkill, A Wild Wander Through the Weird and Threatened World of Bugs. This is a brand new book to the Lehman Library, so if you are interested in a chance to check it out, make sure you fill out the first chapter Friday raffle in the library Google Classroom.